Hey, YouTube. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, great holiday weekend. I guess you're still in your weekend, but hope you all had a good time. You know, people sometimes, I'm sure they must wonder, why don't that man leave that man alone? Oh, is he obsessed? Oh, is there anything else to talk about? I want to give you people an example of why things like these beefs go on. I want to let you know that it's not always the person that you think is causing all the trouble. So here's what I saw when I woke up. Of course, someone sent me over there. People want to defend you. Bless the name of God. So I wanted to give you a sample of what I, as a man, am up against and why I choose to go so aggressively at certain people. Listen to this shit.
I'm gonna put these baby. I didn't eat none of these candy apples. The spirit is willing and the flesh was weak, but my flesh overtook that because them candy apples was looking mighty good over there. But let me put these candy apples on this community page, y'all. Oh my God. Let me find my community page. So it was candy apples everywhere. You know, I thought about Uncle Grumpy Gramps over there. I thought about Grumpy Gramps. And Grumpy Gramps, baby, you would love these candy apples. I'm gonna put these candy apples up.
He can't help himself, can he? Let's listen a little bit more. He's putting the candy apples up on his community page.
Hold on for a minute. I'm putting the candy apples up right now, y'all. Let me put these candy apples up. Ooh, Lord.
Come on, Negro, so I can get you.
I'm putting them up right now. If you go to my community page, I am posting candy apples. And when I tell you these candy apples was nothing nice, oh my God, these candy apples was nothing nice. I'm posting them now, y'all. I mean, they took candy apples to a new level, okay? When I tell you they took candy apples to a new level, hold on. I'm posting them right now, y'all.
Boy, she stretches everything out a long time, doesn't she? God damn. Nigga, you gonna get your 2 hours? Or is it gonna be 4 today?
Ooh, Jesus.
All right, I can't do this.
Okay, I'm gonna post one more. Y'all see them?
Who in the fuck is interested in a goddamn candy apple?
I'm posting them right now.
Is it all they do in San Antonio? Make candy apples?
See, Grumpy Gramps, this is why you gotta get your teeth right, baby. Because when you get your teeth right, ooh, when you get your teeth right, you can eat these kind of candy apples right here. When you get your teeth right, I'm telling you. So y'all see the candy apples? I don't put them candy apples up. Do y'all see them? Do y'all see the candy apples? Okay, tell me them candy apples ain't playing. Okay, y'all see these candy apples? Do y'all see these candy apples? Do y'all see these candy?
Okay, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do this. Y'all nominated a dude for most boring commentator on YouTube. Okay, so you see what I'm up against. Now, I ain't did a goddamn thing to this boy, right? But he cannot seem to stop insulting me. So he thinks that posting a bunch of pictures of candy apples is supposed to be some kind of affront to me. To the front that I have dental work. So we want to discuss some of your issues with these candy apples. I've never seen a grown man talk about candy apples. You must have said the word candy apples 20 times, and the only 2 minutes that I burden people with listening to you. What is this obsession with candy apples? And while we're on the issue of food, this dude, let me see. Okay, as he's making this video, and I'm sure you guys will go to it. This is the one reason I don't like talking about this guy at all, because I know it sends traffic to his channel when I go off on his ass. He has no self-respect, so he does not mind coming on here and provoking people to read his ass. Because why? It brings traffic to the channel. So this is a person who functions without any self-respect at all. Although he seems to always brag about how wonderful he is and what worthless pieces of shit the rest of the world is. Right? The whole time he's on this damn thing, he's sucking down these big ass, is it 2 liters? I think it's a liter and a half of this purple Kool-Aid. Why are you drinking these huge bottles of Kool-Aid, Jay Wilson? I want to talk a little bit, since you want to talk about people's characteristics and their features and their flaws, as you would describe them. You think there's something wrong with me having dental work in my mouth. At the same time, you criticize everyone else for not having dental work in their mouth. So we don't know what you want. Do you want dental work in the mouth or no dental work in the mouth? Why are you so focused on other people's mouth when you have other issues to deal with? Didn't you enter a contest as being the biggest loser? We never hear you talk about the weight, the fat. That's what we should be talking about. Because for a person who was enormous for most of their life, enormous, and somehow managed to take off the weight, and they tell me now that money might have been the motive, a prize for whoever could take the most fat off their ass. They tell me now that that's where the money came for the down payment on that house. I don't know, but it seems to me, if I was a person who struggled with weight for my entire life, I would not be on camera sucking down big ass bottles of gooey shit. Oh, this is the reduced sugar. Oh, this is sugar free. What about the other chemicals in the drinks, dumbass? Don't you know that the drinks that don't have sugar are packed with sodium, so you keep consuming the drink? God damn. This boy, all he talks about is food. We just celebrated Thanksgiving, right? Where everybody had enough to eat. People were unbuttoning their belt buckles and so forth, right? This fool says that he ate so much at this poor boy, Mark, who was doing without peeing as long as he's with him. He said he went to their family house. Oh, they can cook so fabulous. Oh, they can do all this. This video, he's talking about one day. One day. And in one day, he had this huge this meal at Mark's house. Then in the same day, he took took somebody, I guess some family member came in or something, took them all to some kind of damn Chinese place. Lin Chinese buffet. You know, a buffet is all you can eat. Now, who goes from a huge Thanksgiving dinner to an all-day buffet? And then while he's giving this pitiful, boring-ass talk he's giving here, he says, "Excuse me, because the doorbell may ring while I'm talking, because I just ordered me this old nasty chicken from Domino's." Now, I'm saying, what the fuck? One day? Wait a minute. You're one of the biggest losers. Tons of fat been taken off your ass. You're sucking down liters of colored water and Kool-Aid or whatever they calling it. Kool-Aid. You're sucking liters of that down. You just had a huge Thanksgiving dinner. And the same day as you have a huge Thanksgiving dinner, I ain't never even heard of somebody doing that before. You go to Chinese food for all you can eat buffet. And then after all that food, you're not decompressing. You're ordering Domino's. How many times has this dude been online ordering from fast food restaurants? I mean, goddamn, if you're supposed to be watching your weight, and I assume that you would have to watch your weight because when the fat comes off, it doesn't stay off. This is what you're discovering now. This is why you don't even bother with the gym anymore, you see? Because it comes back. No matter, even if you had surgeries, which you would never confess to because you're a compulsive liar, even if you had that, slowly, the stretch. So what I'm witnessing about this dude who has so much to say about other people's body characteristics, he's a compulsive eater. He said over 20 times in 2 minutes about his candy apples. He said, oh, they got cookies on them. Oh, they got ice cream. And then they got M&Ms on them. And he got all these pictures of these candy apples. And I'm saying, is he just doing all this just to insult me? Or is he really lusting after these damn caramel apples? Then he goes down and tells us about all the food he's eating. All the food he's eating. And at the same time, he has to click off of this video while he eats. Because he knows he is a pig. A pig. So you worry about that. Worry about that fat, honey. You are turning 50 now. Okay. That's when the weight comes on normal people. You can imagine the expanse of your fat ass. You can imagine. I've been a skinny boy all my life. And me even at 50, the weight started coming. So the weight changes at around that age, right? You are apparently on some perpetual relapse. Because all you talk about is eating. And you're always ordering food. And all the food comes from various fast food restaurants. Right? That's one thing. Okay. He says the most ridiculous things. No, let's stay on the physical for a minute. Stay on the physical for a minute. You are so concerned with my grill, and it seems to bring you such pleasure, and you want to perpetuate that and go on and on and on, and there's nothing I can say or do to dissuade you from running your mouth about me. I've asked you numerous times to keep my name out your mouth. People think I'm the villain because I keep getting into it with you. I should just ignore you, but I cannot stomach the idea of a Mark, a Square, running his mouth about me, spitting all over my name for no reason, right? So I want to talk about a couple other characteristics. You save those fat shirts because you know it's on the way back. As he's giving this thing even, he says a great big old blousy shirt because he had it when he was a fat pig and he can't let it go. Because as I said many, many times, he's a prisoner to that house. So no money can be wasted, right? So he'll just keep the fat clothes in it and just grow back into them. Correct? Let's talk about another characteristic. Please, people. I know a lot of y'all got bald heads. A lot of black folks got bald heads. That's why we shave the heads because the hairline's back. This boy's hairline starts in the middle of his brain. In the middle of his brain. Why don't we ever talk about bald heads? And why you are bald head? And why do you shave your head? Let's talk about that. What kind of a grown-ass man is going over here and putting this goddamn piece of shit on top of the head and gluing it down to the scalp and say, oh, I can't get it wet. I can't take a shower. Ain't this a bitch? That tells me one thing. You don't want to have a bald head. It is not a thing of choice. Why don't you let the wings grow out so we can see what you really look like, old man? Why don't we talk about that? You concerned about my teeth? Let's talk about your bald-ass head. Your hairline, which starts in the middle of your brain. Talk about that. But I really like to get into that fat. And I think you should go ahead and do some more tutorials. Keep the people posted. Take one of those shirts off and let's see those breasts. Let's see those titties. And stand up and let me see that fat stomach starting to expand because it expands even on normal people. And you are not normal, boy. Remember, you fat, dumb lummox. You fat, ignorant bitch. You're eating and eating and eating. And so now you're telling other people that, oh, remember that, what's that girl's name? I don't remember. The alien? Oh, you drinking down that dark liquor and you feeding down shrimp, sucking down shrimps. This boy went over here and he is complaining about this restaurant, this Chinese restaurant. Oh, they don't have no crab legs. Oh, who eat up all the crab legs? Well, you know, why you got your ass in a restaurant after you just had an enormous meal at someone's house? Then you go right to the Chinese, and then you're complaining about how much food is left in the trays. You know, the Chinese people, they don't believe in Christmas, so traditionally, they'll be open on Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, I believe. Yeah, but he goes on and on about the food, the shrimp, the crabs. Then he described everything in the meal. Then he has the people coming in and calling in today. So I guess they all call in. And what do you want to talk about? The food. Okay, let me help you with the food about Thanksgiving. We are black people. Macaroni and cheese, greens, candy yams, ham, and or turkey. That's it. That's it. You can stop asking that question. We all eat the same shit every fucking year. But you and your romance of food, you want to talk about it. I want to hear about it. you can't eat none of the candy apple. You know why you can't eat none of the candy apples? You're so worried about me not eating candy apples because I have dental work. Although I could easily do that. It's not that big a deal. But this is the thing you want to try to pick on, right? So I want to spend more time talking about your fat ass from this point on. In fact, I would like you to stand in the camera and then measure that ass. Use a real solid yardstick where it can't be manipulated. I don't want a cloth one. I want you to measure that ass. And I want you, as the years go by, we want to see that ass expand and expand. As I said, even for a normal person, the body starts to change. You coming into the game with fully developed breasts. And I assumed a fat ass because you was a fat man. I would like to see the expanse. You were the biggest loser. Now let's see if you're the biggest gainer. You said you didn't have no surgery or nothing, right? You lost it on your own. I'm trying to figure out how he loses it on his own, and he stays in fast food restaurants. He eats fast food every single day, and now he's sucking down big gallons of juice. That shit just dripping all down in his fat face. And then he eats like such an animal that he had to go. He had 3 people on this panel. I'm not mentioning the name of other people, because unfortunately they seem to like him. So we're just gonna leave other people out of it. He had to, he never clicks off screen. He wants as much screen time as he can get. Click off. Why? Because the Domino's man is here. And I'm about to tear into this goddamn chicken. After all this food he's been stuffing in his face for the last 2 days. All this takes place in 2 days. This video here, where he's running his mouth, this was made yesterday, right? So yesterday evening. So it all took place basically in a 24-hour span where he's shoving all this shit into his mouth. And then on top of shoving it all into his mouth, he's ordering fried chicken. Can we zoom this side? He'll always say, oh, it's baked chicken. That's why he turned the goddamn camera off. Because he don't want you to see the chicken. He don't want you to see him shoving all that goddamn greasy ass fried chicken in his mouth. You think it was baked? He's never been bashful about eating on camera. He always seems to be eating. He ain't bashful about that. He don't want you to see his fried. He's on a run and don't even know it. He's on a relapse. He don't even know it. Take a picture. You want me to take a picture of my mouth and all this whole shit, all these other insulting things you say about my grill, my mouth? I want you to take this challenge, Jay Wilson. I want you to put that fat ass on the screen, and I want you to measure it with a hard ruler. I want us to see the ever-expanding size of your ass. That's what you worry about, boy. And then the other thing is this hair. You're going to have to accept that you're bald. My man piece. My man. Girl, if that didn't look like pubic hair on top of your head, if you didn't look stupid, and it tells us that, oh, this is a touchy spot, because he's actually trying to fake the hair. And then he's got the nerve to come on and talk about all the women's wigs. They're women. We can accept wigs on women. It's you that has the issue. You're a dude. You shouldn't be walking around with this little bitty fake hair and these huge ass breasts and this big fat womanly ass. Worry about yourself, boy. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Apples. Okay.
Hold on a second.